I was like, this is the first time I've had the 2 desks to try the, this type of setup, like what we did that one day.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You're just gonna do it live?" I was like,
"Fuck it, man."
That's what we're all about,
dude. We gotta let everybody come in behind the scenes. Look what we'll view the struggle that is the Bloody and Sutty show.
This is the real life. This is what happens.
See, a smart man would have done this an hour ago, but I was still picking movies for the fucking Rotten Tomatoes game. Why is
start off. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bloody and Sutty show. I'm SuttySmash with special guest, the wee baby Liara and Marie. This is...
Bloody the Elf. You're pointing the wrong way.
I am.
That's okay. I'm Bloody the Elf, and welcome to the show for jackasses, by jackasses. We have a thrilling kind of freeform show today. We're doing the joys of parenting. We're going to talk a little This Week in Dumb and a fun baby-related themed
I was
Rotten
wondering if
Tomatoes
you're going
game.
to go that route.
It just seemed the obvious way to go. Drew, how is your sleeping now? Good?
Yeah, we're sleeping pretty good.
Good-ish, yeah.
I mean, are you still, dying in your sleep?
Am I dying in my sleep? No. That. No, it's solid, man.
When
I wear it.
Better way to ask it. Marie, are you able to sleep next to that behemoth?
Yeah, but I can always tell when he's not wearing it. And I'm just like, babe! Put on your mask!
She does that exactly. Slaps in the forehead, hey, and that was nice. She did that gingerly.
Gingerly!
He's such a liar. Such a liar.
I love it.
There are times where I'm looking
She'll
for
be
his
like,
face.
Babe. I'm like, what the fuck?
Such a liar! I do not do that.
You don't know your own strength in your sleep.
No,
apparently.
I do.
The joys of fatherhood. It's got its ups and downs, right? Or the joys of just being a parent. Right?
Yeah.
It
does.
It's ups and downs. This part normally is terrible. Newborn to 6 months is awful. For me, I mean, it may be different for moms, but I know for dads it's just crying. And right now, babies are essentially just tiny shit bags. They don't do anything. I remember when I brought my first daughter home, I wanted to play with her. I was really excited. I was like, oh, let's fucking play and do stuff. And she was just sitting there looking like an alien and trying to hold on to everything. Yeah, man, it's crazy. After that they start asking you all the questions and all that fun stuff, and that's fun for a time. You're like, oh, this is because you take it for granted as an adult that kids are seeing all this stuff for the first time. This is the first time they've seen trees or the leaves change colors or a brown dog across the street. Like they have never experienced any of this shit before, and you're like, yeah, it's a fucking dog, whatever, fuck off. And which is super interesting to them, and you as a parent just kind of have to be like, oh yeah, that's amazing, that dog is brown. I don't know why it's brown, honey, it just is. Yeah, whatever. And then they get a little bit older, and then they start saying like profound shit. Like they'll say shit that catches you off guard, and you're like, oh, what? Oh man, that's like meaningful shit. Like my daughter, my oldest daughter, Nani, when they were here, I think it was last summer. I moved back from California, right? And I always wondered if moving back to Arizona was the right decision, because I had to leave my kids there. I did the option of either being there and sleeping on my buddy's couch, and they would see me struggle, and I had tried to find a job for like 6 months, couldn't find anything. Or I knew I could come here. I had a safety net with family and friends and whatnot, and I knew I'd be able to find a job very quickly here. But I wouldn't be able to see my kids as often, but I'd be able to provide for them, where it would be vice versa. I'd see them all the time, but I wouldn't be able to provide for them at all in California. So I made the decision to come here, and I always questioned if it was the right decision. And last summer, Nani and I were talking, because she's 13 now. She's going to be 14 in July, which is nuts. But she was like, "No, Dad, you made the right decision. Like, we don't get to see you as often, but if you wouldn't have come here, then you wouldn't have met Marie, and you wouldn't have Samara and Liara wasn't here at the time." But it was like, wow, okay, thanks for that, fucking. But they're also assholes. They're also real big giant assholes, a good chunk of the time. So I mean, it's a mixed bag being a parent, you know.
Yeah, for me, parenting was really easy, because James was a walk in a park, like no big deal at all. And then he turned like 11, and then it's like he started there was like you start having concerns over things like, what are you doing in there? I need doors open. And then now I feel good that because he doesn't watch this show at all, because I'm involved, so it's not cool. Yeah. But like, I got a text from his dad 2.0 the other day that was, James is looking at porn on his phone again. I'm like, all right, good to know. Like, what do you want me to do? Hit him?
Man, I wish we lived in a time. Well, here's the thing. I wish that we lived in a time where we had porn on our phones as teenagers. You know.
I wish I had a phone as a teenager. Can we start there?
That also. But that being said, if we would have had porn on our phones, I would have never done anything. Like, I wouldn't have gone anywhere.
You would have never had a job.
I wouldn't have played sports. It's like, what? It's this easy? Like, this is all I have to do? Like,
boop, yeah, boop. Dude.
We lived in the age of scramble porn, where you go to channel 99 and you have to just, it's a green tit. Go!
Hurry, while it's still on the screen. And you're like, there it went.
No audio at all.
No.
A lot of you guys are too young to remember fucking
They don't know.
That was a real fucking struggle.
Yeah. I think it's funny that we shoot at a demographic in our podcast at people who were born in the 80s but are yet still teenagers. Like, that would be our but yeah, dude, like,
are you a 38-year-old child? This show's for you.
We got one for you. But yeah, dude, like, so there's that. Now he doesn't want to, like, schoolwork's starting to be a real pain in the dick, and like, so he goes to like super smart kid school now, and then they're talking about like, do you want to just like put him back in regular school, because this sucks, especially now when like school's basically done. Like, I was talking to my sister about it, and like, they're not taking grades anymore, and they're like, just do the work, and if you do it, which is basically, don't forget the shit we taught you 6 weeks ago, and call it a win, you know. And James's school is still like, let's learn about quantum mechanics. And I'm like, he's fucking 13. I don't even understand this shit. And he's always like, Dad, can you help me with this? I'm like, no, I can't. You're on your own here, buddy. Like, I can't do any of this. Like, it's like, Dad, for my class project, I'm supposed to crash a satellite into Russia. Can you help me? I'm like, no, I can't at all. But
Fucking Christ.
maybe talk to like Snowden.
We hijack some Russian drones.
Yeah, like it's so over the top. Like, and the worst part is I'm only half kidding. Like, he would get great scores if he could do that, but like not the best, because they would have been like, hey, we cured AIDS, like his classmates. It's fucking weird. I don't like his school because it's that. Yeah, exactly. Where it's like learn it all on your own now at an accelerated rate for the accelerated programs and all that shit. And like my kid's smart, like really smart, but like we've hit like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, or maybe next year we'll do, because he already doesn't like. We were talking to other parents that go to the same school, and they're like, nah, we're not doing it again. Like, fuck that. Like, we're done. Yeah. Like, next year, whatever. And then James has been saying he wants to go back to regular school because he just likes it more, because it doesn't require nearly as much work. And he would probably test in as like senior 12th grade. Yeah. Like you know what I mean? Yeah.
2% of his class.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
And, but it's just like, dude, I don't know. It's hard. Like, school stuff is not easy. Like, and it's, you always just, you're like,
when we were kids, man. It's different than when we were kids. Like,
it's completely different. I never took the SAT.
It's apparently not a requirement, because I sure as shit didn't do it.
Did you have to take the ACT?
No.
Did you take any of like the lettered tests? No. ACT, SAT, none of that?
I just didn't show up on those days. I was like,
oh, they had them. You just didn't take them.
There's a whole day of shit I gotta do, of tests. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
at that point I was like, I'm just going to the military. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like, I don't need these.
How'd that work out? Look at us now.
real well.
Yeah, parenting, bringing it back.
Yep, bringing it back. Yeah, that's something I haven't had to worry about, having all girls. I mean, we have Aiden, and that part is
he seems pretty easy. Yes,
he is. He is pretty easy. He's, as long as he likes just staying in his room doing his thing. I told Marie, I was like, at some point he's gonna start taking 45-minute showers, and
like, why is it always cold?
There's all the fucking hot water.
Yeah.
And he has a computer in his room, and you know, it's the internet. You can find anything on there.
There's people eating poop on there.
Yeah.
Is he on Reddit now?
Yeah, he is. He's on Reddit.
Strong.
Yep. So that's getting there. So I was like, his room's gonna smell like a public pool at some point.
It's right onto the wall.
Though. Like I feel like he's still far behind. Every time I think he's gonna get there, it never happens, because I go in there and I won't knock all the time, or even if I do knock, he'll be like, "Oh!" I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then
I have a story.
And he's not smart enough to take the history off, so I'll be like, boy, I'm gonna find out what you're doing. So I'll look on there, and it's like never anything big. It's because he's watching something that's cursing or something, and
yeah, like, I'm sorry.
He's like, I don't ever say that. And then finally, recently, I was reading his messages because I took his phone away from him, and he was talking to his friend about like people cursing all the time.
Did he say boobies?
No, he didn't. So he's like, the only word that I'll say is hell. And I started laughing. So I'm like, oh my God, my kid is way too good. But in a good way.
Yeah. Like, it's fine. Like, of all things.
For that. But tell us your story.
Yeah, go.
So, all right. So James is a like, when TV is on, he turns into like zombie. Like, just you'll walk by and then it'll hit him like stop him like dead in his tracks. Yeah. And just stare at it like with his, he goes into like full Neanderthal mode. Like his knuckles just immediately hit the floor, you know? And so he's in his room one day And okay, so keep in mind, I am a pretty avid, like, when he goes to sleep, I will go in there and go through his web history because he sleeps like somebody hit him with like an elephant tranquilizer. And like, I mean, like I could kick him in the face and I'm pretty sure he'd sleep right through it. And so he's not looking at porn in his room, like not yet anyway. He knows about like private browsing, but I don't know if he knows how to make it on the computer yet. Like he can do it on his phone. And that's how his mom caught him, because he went through private mode.
But did close it?
But did not close it. So she pulled it up and you're like, you are the worst at like trying to hide shit. Like forethought, but no carry through. Anyway, so I'm not a knocker. Like I'm coming in and whatever's there is there and we're going to laugh about it later. And he was watching YouTube on his computer, like standing, like, you know, like what, pants and underwear around his ankles, just, and then I come in and he's just like, and I'm like, I finally caught him. Like it happened. It's happening right now. Like I'm gonna finally have this moment of like, walked in on him. He had some like Ricky Lake looking bitch just getting, I don't know what to even expect, you know? Like I don't know what my 13-year-old's kink's gonna be. Like I'm sure it's gonna be weird because he's a weird fucking kid. Love him to death, but Jesus. And but no, it's like this guy laser beam playing fucking Fortnite, and I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm getting dressed. I'm like, you're 20 minutes into the video, like what? He was like, yeah, I started watching it when I was putting my pants on and it just got interesting. So I like, you gave up halfway through. He's like, one in. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, he's a piece of work, man. That has been our big one.
When did you ever get caught when you were a kid?
No.
No? I didn't get explicitly caught.
Not red-handed? Maybe a little blue-handed?
Yeah, not red-handed. But it came real close. I remember whipping the covers up over me real quick. Pretended to be asleep as the covers are falling back down. That's
like parachute. Yeah.
But I always thought in my head as a teenager, I was like, man, I'm so good at this. Like I'm so stealthy. Nobody even knows this is happening. And then looking back on it as an adult, it's like, no teenage boy takes 4 showers a day. Like,
no, I can't get James to take one. I'm like, please bathe, and he's like, what do you mean? Like you smell like the inside of my cat's ass. Go bathe yourself. Jesus.
I wasn't taking showers to be clean. I was just fucking in the cover of of the bathroom.
Oh, you got left alone. Yeah. And in hindsight, I'm pretty sure my parents figured out that like after 45 minutes, I'm not conditioning my hair anymore. Like hindsight.
You can only rinse and repeat so many times.
It never said stop. It just, I'm still in there. I'm asking for another bottle. For my hair.
Oh man. Did I ever tell you about my my debacle with the Dial soap?
This already sounds bad. No, you didn't.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you and the whole internet right now.
Great.
Marie already knows. I told her about this. But I was 13, like right in the entrance of taking care of myself, right? And like just right starting on it. And so I was, experimenting with different lubricants. And conditioner worked really well, but people use that a lot. So we had this Dial soap, Dial antibacterial hand soap that you could use, or that wasn't used as frequently. right? So I was like, well, nobody will notice if this whole bottle's missing, so I'm just gonna use this because it's the least impactful to the rest of the household.
Oh, it's like shower gel, not like a bar of soap.
No, it's the gel.
Got it. Okay, continue.
Right. So I started using that, and as a 13-year-old, I was vigorous and thorough, and that was used several times daily. Fun fact:
vigorous and thorough.
You don't want to use antibacterial soap on anything several times constantly. Vigorous, like violently. Like, let's call it spade a spade. It was violent. Like after about a solid week of this, I wake up one morning. I'm like, ooh, this is uncomfortable, and I go to the bathroom to check it. Well, I went to the bathroom to check it out, and also, while I'm there.
I mean, grab the bottle while you're there. This is just efficiency at this point.
So, but then I look at it, and I'm like, oh! Like, it's just dry and chapped and like cracking. Like, it looked like my whole dick was chapped lips. Like, severely chapped
like
lips.
You got scaling going on?
Yeah, like my dick went on a fucking safari through the Sahara without any water. And it was searching for an oasis, and it was in its last throes of life. Like that, it was like, please, water, please. So yeah. Fucking.
It's only funny because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
To the T.
So like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed to anybody that would listen, any deity. I was like, please, somebody, like, I promise I'll never do this again. Like, never. Just make this right. Make this not awful. Like, bring it back. Don't let my dick fall off. And I didn't want to tell anybody, You can't tell your parents, like, hey, I've been beating it so much that my dick looks like it's gonna fall off. So maybe we should go to a doctor. Can't do that, so you keep it a secret.
Yeah. Just
hope that it gets better. Yeah.
And it always did.
I prayed to every deity that there was. And I was like, I'll never do this again, just make it better. And then it got better. I just stopped doing it for a while, and I was like, all right, just don't use hand soap. Let's get back to it. But yeah, that was my dial hand soap experience.
I love how
all frames, so that's super fun. I love that.
I love how this started as a parenting segment, which turned into
kids.
Yeah, let's just get straight into jacking.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy, dude. The amount of stuff that you go through as a parent to kids. Like, there's that shit, there's the funny shit, and then there's the profound shit, and there's the really sad shit. Like you and I talked about it before in our but we talked about the really sad shit. Like, there was a point in time where, like, I had nothing. This is when I was debating whether or not to move to Arizona. All my savings was gone. I was struggling to, like, I made sure that the kids were eating, like they had food and whatnot. I was drinking more than I should, not while the kids were there. Like, I was a functioning good father when the kids were there, and then as soon as they left, I was just like pounding Coors Light because it's cheap and I could afford to drink that, I remember I had this huge, like, water jug of change, and
I remember the story.
Yeah, it was the kids' change, and they were really excited about it because we were gonna go cash it. We went to the grocery store, we were gonna go get groceries, and then they were gonna get to cash their fucking change and get whatever the fuck they wanted with it. I didn't care because that was theirs. That was something that they had that was theirs, and they were very excited. And they were like, I don't know, 4 or 5 at the time, and we went to the grocery store, and it was the coin bank, or Coinstar, that's what it was called, was broken, so we couldn't cash the change. So we went out. And I got the kids in the car, putting the groceries in, and I remember looking at the jug and being like, "Man, it would really suck if that got left there." And then start driving, and then after I put the rest of the groceries in the car, start driving, and then get to the house, and I'm unloading the car, and I'm like, "Nani, where'd you put the jar of change?" She's like, "I didn't put it anywhere." I'm like, "What?" So then I started tearing up the car, looking for it and whatnot, and it wasn't there. So I was like, "Motherfucker!" I just perpetuated this into reality.
Yeah.
That I would forget this jar, and I drove back to the grocery store, and of course it's gone because it's fucking money just sitting in a cart. And it wasn't a big deal to the kid. Like, they were excited about it and they were kind of disappointed, but I was disappointed because it's like, man, this is the only thing that I have for my kids. Like, this is the one thing I have for them to be excited about, and I fucked it up. And it was heartbreaking. Like, I cried myself to sleep that night because I fucked up. And it was something that I had for them. One of the only things that I had that I could give them, and I lost it. And they, like I said, they were really good about it. They're like, "Oh well, it was an accident, whatever." And I'm like, "No, I fucked it up. Like, this is for you. This is yours." And it was just like that type of shit. Like, when I was, and they were really, when I was struggling, they were really awesome. Like, they're really good kids.
They're like strangely understanding, aren't they? Like, they get it and they're fine with it because it's just just what is.
Well, it's the thing. I don't think they do get it. I think just
maybe not. Yeah.
This is just what shit is. It's not a whatever. Like, because I mean, they're spoiled now.
Yeah.
Like, not now.
Yeah.
But back then they weren't super spoiled, so they weren't super entitled, so they weren't like, well, go get another jug of change.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just like, "Oh, well, that sucks. It's okay, Dad. Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna fucking worry about it. Fuck this up. This is all my fault. I'm such an idiot." Like, obviously, I said that directly to him. I'm like, "Your dad's a fucking retard." Like, what?
They're in the back seat like, "Mom is all right. Dad is all right."
But yeah, man, like, it's like that's one of the things I'm really proud of too, is that they're like, even as little kids, they're good human beings, Like, they weren't fucking assholes about it, and they were super understanding about, when shit was really shitty, they were like, "Well, you do what you can and we'll get through it." Like, man, you guys are resilient little bastards. Like, good on you. It's okay, baby. It's okay. But yeah, man, dude, being a dad, it's like, I always, for people who aren't parents, right? I always explain my kids, especially the first two, right? As the, oh no, that's a sad face. Yeah, mommy.
Get the ogre away from me.
You're good in the chair. I said you're good in the chair, then we'll see you in the chair. I always explain my kids, especially the first two, as the best worst mistake I ever made. You know what I mean?
Best of the worst.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It was they're like real taxing because they're kids and they're not cheap.
Well, they are not.
But man, they're super fulfilling. Like, it's really awesome when you have kids that look, or this little human being that just looks up to you like you're some kind of fucking hero. I'm like, man, this is kind of cool. And it makes you realize, right, as a parent, like, our parents had no idea what they were doing because we had no idea what they were doing. Like, I remember when they let me go with Lily when she was born. They just let me leave the hospital with this child. They're like, "All right, well, bye." I'm like, "What? That's
yeah,
it?
we're gonna get you out of here."
There's nothing.
Are you
nothing
sure?
Beyond that, it's just, all right. Leave with this kid. Be responsible for this life. Oh, okay, cool.
That's the thing too. James was 4 pounds, and they're like, "Yeah, take him home. He's fine." I'm like, are you sure?
Holy shit.
Because he looks real small. I'm like, "Yeah, no, he's fine. Go ahead."
He's gonna lose weight too, but don't you got this.
Like, yeah, just feed him a lot. Just feed him more. Like, I don't think that's how that works. Do you work here?
Oh man, but yeah, dude. Being a parent's tits. I like it. I like it a lot. Especially with well, not especially, like being a parent of all my kids is awesome, but with these two, it's amazing, man. Like I've been more sensitive with them, like or not with them, but to them. Like when Samara first started patting Liara on the back and like just trying to comfort her when she was like getting fussy and whatnot. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Well, these are feelings that I didn't know that I had. Awesome. Like it's and,
Pussy.
but it's been amazing to see because they're like Samara went through so much, you know what I mean? Like as a little kid with the getting the shunt placed and all that other garbage and going through that before she was 1. It's like, man, dude, like it's and to see how far she's come, and then now she's trying to help take care of this other little baby and doing what she can to help. She's not always the greatest at it, and sometimes she's a fucking asshole about it. But she has nothing but love in her heart, and it's fucking really cool to see. And it's like, man, we did something right. You know what I mean? Like, this is a good one. We did a good one.
1 out of 6, buddy. Not bad.
A fucking adventure. I never thought, like, I just looked over at Marie and saw her doing this. Until I had kids, I never thought that I would
see a boobie.
No. I never thought that I would smell somebody else's ass for the sole purpose of seeing if they had shit themselves. Like when you have a kid or a baby, you're just you're like in there, you're like, oh,
nose to ass. Yeah.
You just started. You got a good, couple minutes. Let's see if you finish that out. Fucking
yeah. Give him a minute, and they go and like find a corner and start making like the purple face. Like, I see the vein in her forehead. She's good. Give her a minute.
Oh, man. Did I ever tell you about the time when fucking Nani almost got me arrested at the hospital?
No.
Not the hospital, but the doctor's office. So, we were going to take Lily to the doctor because she has asthma. So she has regular checkups and whatnot. And the kids hid my keys. Like, I was running late, as I do. And the kids decided it would be hilarious if, like, hey, let's hide Dad's keys and not tell him where they are. Because they're 3 and 4, I think, at the time. And
Irish twins.
Yeah, running around my house looking for my goddamn keys. And when I get angry, like unreasonably angry, if things aren't where I left them or where they're not supposed to, like, in their face, or if I can't find, generally if I can't find something that I need right at that moment, like if I can't find my wallet or my keys or my phone, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'll start like aggressively moving furniture to try to find shit and like start cussing and shit. Like Boomer would hide, like if he realized that I had lost
be in the other room.
I'm gonna go hide in this corner where the thing that he's looking for definitely is not.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And so I'm running around looking for the stuff, and I'm trying to plead with toddlers, like, where are my keys? Where did you put them? Like, and like, I am a large man. Like, I'm a big dude.
Yeah, we've met.
And I don't always realize that when I'm talking to children, especially if I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
So these girls are, 3 feet tall, maybe, and I'm hovering over. I'm like, what'd you do with my keys? And they're like,
P.
yeah.
The ogre's mad.
It's like, hey, on top of you losing your keys, I need to change my diaper now. So thanks for that.
Thanks, man. Change my diaper.
But I was running around the island looking for him, and Nani was just short enough to be obscured by the island, and I was briskly moving around this thing, and she was walking towards me, and I didn't see her, so my knee hit her right in the chest, like right as she was walking. She went, wow, like just pancaked back onto her back. And I'm like, are you okay? She's like, you know, as kids do.
Gasping.
Like, where are my keys?
What's seriously though? Where's my keys? You're good?
So one of the kids, still to this day, I don't know which one, thought it would be cool to put them in my toolbox. So that's where my keys were. So we got to the doctor. Everything was fine. Doctor's checking out Lily. Lolita, thank you for the host. Thank you so much, Lolita. The stream looks like it's stabilizing. Sorry about that. Thanks, Cox, you fucking cunts.
Mine looks great.
Yeah, yours is. Yours always is.
It is always, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair, it's wireless.
Fuck off with it. But Nani, when she was little, and I mean to this day, you know, you were here a couple weeks ago. She likes talking to anybody that will listen to her. Like,
Yeah.
she just does.
I've noticed.
Yeah, Lily has gotten there. She wasn't there at the time, but Lily does the same thing. But when Nani was little, she knew she was a cute kid, and that people would listen to her because she was cute. So she just talked to people because she's like, oh, they're paying attention to me. And fucking, we're talking to a doctor. You know, first do no harm. That like doctors, like full on doctor, and. She was just chatting her up like, oh yeah, my daddy was mad earlier.
He kicked me.
Yeah.
That's what happened, wasn't it?
It was worse than that. Fucking, it was, my dad was mad earlier. Oh yeah, what happened? He couldn't find his keys because we hid them in his toolbox. And he kicked me in the chest. And I'm like, I can't just interject and correct her at this point because then it looks like I'm trying to cover for myself, you know? So I'm just like, in shock, just letting her talk. And she's like, he was really mad and he kicked me in the chest and I fell on my back and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get arrested like now. Like they're calling CPS right now. And the doctor was really cool about it. And I'm just like, she's like, well, was it an accident? She's like, yeah, he didn't see me, but it hurt. I'm like, no, like don't say that.
Daddy cracks my ribs. That's good.
Anyway,
all right, so we're an hour and a half in.
We really are. Yeah, let's.
You want to move into some This Week in Dumb?
Yeah,
I am gonna have a day tomorrow of editing.
You really are, man. That's. I apologize in advance for all your editing.
You are gonna do the editing tomorrow. We're just gonna learn you how.
Oh, I'm gonna do the editing. This one's not getting released.
This one's not coming out.
Yeah. So, do you want me to do mine first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this week, in Arizona, this is a local story. A pregnant Arizona woman, saved a 6-foot snake from being run over. She was pregnant, right out in the middle of the street, to save a 6-foot snake. And somebody interviewed her for this because apparently the video went viral. And they're like, "Why did you save the snake?" And she said, "Well, it just looked like too pretty a snake to just get killed like that, and it didn't look like it was aggressive or nothing." And I was like, "Okay, dope." So this pregnant woman, risked not only her life but the life of her unborn child to run into the middle of the road to save a snake from being run over from other passersbys. And, yeah. I mean, she's successful. It didn't bite her. But not what I would have done. Babe, would you save a snake out of the road? She says, fuck no.
Yeah, I'm not saving a snake either.
She says fuck with an A, so fuck no.
Fact, no.
Mm-hmm.
Fact.
Fuck.
Bro, I too have a reptilian-based story out of Florida.
Of course it's out of Florida.
It's Florida lizard's bad case of constipation makes history. And it says, feasting at a Cocoa Beach pizza parlor, grease bin gave one northern curly-tailed lizard a record-breaking case of constipation. Mouthfuls of insects and greasy sand congealed in the unpassable glob of poop, nearly 80% of the animal's total body mass. The largest known feces to body mass ratio recorded in a living animal.
That's a lot of shit.
That thing is completely full of shit.
Oh. Hey, what I want you to do right here in post,
Yeah?
the Jurassic Park. That's a big pile of shit.
Oh.
That is one big pile of shit.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that?
I can do that. And let's see. More Orlando news. This one is, I think we got enough pretty much straight out of the article in this one. It's a report. Man caught camping on Disney's Discovery Island, saying it was a tropical
paradise.
Yeah, it was a tropical paradise. So he was living on. He was just living at Disneyland in Discovery Island.
Well, nobody else was hanging out there, so I mean, nobody's visiting. So I mean, it seems like kind of a waste.
Yeah, but he has now been banned from all Disney properties.
For how long? Forever?
Probably forever.
What are they gonna do? Do they just have his picture up there? Are they gonna do a retina scan?
Well, I mean, he was arrested and charged with trespassing, so he's probably going to do a little time or have a massive fine, and is now ordered to never go back to a Walt Disney World or any of their properties. He can't even walk into the mall and make a wrong turn. Then we got
That's where harm it is.
Man, I tell you, this week it's been a Florida fantasia for sure. This one is a protesting Grim Reaper makes bizarre TV news appearance. The Grim Reaper, or at least a lawyer dressed up as Death, made an appearance during a Florida TV station's news report as the man was protesting the reopening of beaches near Panama City Beach. Oh. So the guy was up on like a lifeguard thing with like a black tattered umbrella and was just there with a scythe and the whole outfit, the whole get up, just sitting there. It looked awesome.
I like that a lot. People are fucking retarded, man, with this shit. Like, they're real stupid with this shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey. Like, the people protesting to reopen the state. I think it was actually here. So, this is an unofficial This Week in Dumb, but this week in Dumb, one of the protesters, I think in Arizona, to reopen the state, tested positive for the coronavirus.
Good.
It's like, good. You earned it. You deserve it.
I got one last news story here. This one is out of KTUU Channel 2 out of Anchorage, because Alaska's also reopening. Barbershops have now been reopened, and quote, there's been several mullets. Barbershops reopen as rules loosen.
Lots of mullets.
They're cutting a lot of mullets.
And, stick with what you're good at, I guess.
This Week in Dumb, man.
There it is.
Fucking stupid.
People are dumb.
I think it's funny you always say brr, 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 but that's not the song.
Lulu, skip to my Lulu.
And then the guy falls off the motorcycle. It's cute. It's cute. All right, man. You ready?
I'm so ready. Babe, do you want to do this? Do you want to do
let's do both of you.
Well, no, just give me your guess, and I'll tell him. Okay. Yeah, both of us will do it. We're good.
Okay, so we've got a Sutty versus Marie. All right, Rotten Tomatoes game. I was thinking, we haven't explained the rules in a really long time. At this point, let's go ahead and do it real quick. All right, so Rotten Tomato game, the way that it's going to work is I'm going to list 5 movies. Sutty and Marie are going to give their answers, and they're going to guess the critics' score of what the movies are. And it's anywhere between 1 and 100. And for every point that you are off, you gain a point. It's like golf, you want to have as few points as possible. So for instance, if you're guessing Gone in 60 Seconds was 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, you'd find out that it's actually 25 points and then gain 50 points. Now, the goal of the game is to try and keep it under 100. Play against your friends. Whoever has the lowest score wins. Clear as a hooker's heel.
Clear as mud.
All right, first movie. Are you ready?
I am ready. Baby, ready? Okay.
All right. A suit-wearing, briefcase-carrying baby pairs up with his 7-year-old brother to stop the dastardly plot of CEO of Puppy Co. And this was directed by Adam McGrath, starring Alec Baldwin, Steve Buscemi, and Jimmy Kimmel from 2017, The Boss Baby.
20%? Really? You thought it was that shitty?
Oh, Boss Baby.
Yeah, Boss Baby.
Oh.
I'm going to
I'll
say...
say 40.
Marie says Rotten at 40. All right. Most animated. Was this a Disney movie?
I don't think so.
No. All right. I'm gonna say fresh, but just barely. I'm gonna say 68%.
Hang on. Stop.
Okay. What?
That's a fair question to ask because that's a big one. If it is, I would have told you wrong and would have screwed your score up. The Boss Baby. Let me pull it up real quick. This was put out by. Sorry, 2 seconds. Jumping through screens.
Was it just a solo DreamWorks project?
Yes. It's exactly what it was.
No
It's DreamWorks.
Yeah, okay. With no Disney involved, right?
Those would be competitors.
I'm going to stick with it then and say fresh 68%. Marie says rotten at 40, right?
Since 68?
68, yeah.
All right. You guys are going to have to kind of keep track of your own scores because I can't do them both at the same time, so you have to add. But I am keeping track and we'll add them at the end. This one is actually rotten.
Ooh.
At 52%.
Oh, man. All right.
Marie's got the lead on this one. Now, what's funny is the trailer to this movie was actually released on National Bosses Day. Yes. And then Alec Baldwin's line, of course, cookies are for closers, is a spoof of the Glengarry Glen Ross 1992 line, coffee is for closers.
Put the coffee down.
That's right. And the baby giggles and coos are the same as many other baby sounds, as they're all completely stock audio. So Disney's Tarzan actually has the exact same sounds in it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That is interesting.
It is interesting. Are you ready for your next film?
Yes.
Is Marie ready as well?
Yes.
All right. A successful single businesswoman who dreams of having a baby discovers she is infertile and hires a working class woman to be her unlikely surrogate. This one is directed by Michael McCullers, starring Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and Sigourney Weaver from 2008, Baby Mama.
I love this movie.
It's great.
I love it a lot. It was really good. I don't know if the critics would have liked it as much, but because we're guessing critics score. I had a fucking blast with this movie. It was really, really good. I'm gonna say fresh 73%.
Okay, and Marie?
Marie says rotten 54.
We're having a real tight game right now. Real neck and neck. Baby Mama actually is fresh. At 63%, just barely. Giving you both Marie with 9 points and Sutty with 10.
Ooh. She's up. She's ahead.
That's right. In every single scene she's in, Amy Poehler actually sported a different hairstyle and never repeated a single one twice in the whole film.
No shit.
Yeah. And at one point Angie refers to Kate's car as a stupid space car, but really the problem was that she just couldn't operate the childproof locks. It was kind of funny.
63.
Are you guys ready for your next film?
Uh-huh.
All right. Faced with an unplanned pregnancy, an offbeat young woman makes an unusual decision regarding her unborn child. This was directed by Jason Reitman, starring Ellen Page, Michael Cera, Jennifer Garner, and Michael Bateman from 2007, Juno.
Dude, this one, I like this movie a lot as well. Yeah, it is an independent film, and these are hit or miss, right?
Yes.
Independent films are usually either really high or really fucking low.
There's not many in the middle.
Yeah. This one, though, I think got a lot of critical acclaim, so I'm going to say fresh at 92%.
Okay.
And Marie? 71%, Marie says.
Okay. All right. So for this one, of course, Juno is fresh. I think none of us are surprised by that, but how fresh? Marie saying 71, Sutty at a solid 92, almost a perfect score. Marie probably should have listened to the man on this one because it came in fresh, certified so at 94%.
Ooh.
So Sutty gains 2, Marie gains 23. And J.K. Simmons actually saw the script to this one and said that he was so impressed with the script that he would have been happy to just play the teacher who has no spoken dialogue, anything, just to appear in the film.
I love J.K. Simmons.
Doesn't everybody?
He's so good.
Yeah. And
What's that he's in? J.K. Simmons? Or they have the two worlds? I don't know. He's in a show on Stars, I think.
Yeah, Allstate.
Yes, that's it. That's State Farm.
State Farm, that's right.
Yeah. Allstate's the 24 guy.
That's right. And Billy Armstrong of Green Day enjoyed Bren's line when he said, "You don't have to drive out to East Jesus Nowhere." So much that Green Day's album 21st Century Breakdown, he actually wrote a song called East Jesus Nowhere. That's where that came from.
Did not know that. Did not know that. It was a terrible Johnny Carson impression.
I did not know that. That is some fresh, wild stuff. All right, your next film. Are you ready?
Woo!
All right.
All right.
As part of a fertility research project, a male scientist agrees to carry a pregnancy in his own body.
Shit.
You're on the right track. Yes. This is directed by Ivan Reitman, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Emma Thompson from 1994. Junior.
Junior. That's it. That's it. This movie was awful.
What are you going to name it? I was thinking Junior. And if it's a girl, Junior.
Oh god, this movie's fucking terrible.
I have fond memories of it, but I haven't seen it since 1994, so I don't know.
Why were Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito's in multiple movies?
They were in 3 right in a row.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I really don't.
Because it was this twins. What was the other one?
I don't know. It was actually in the trivia, but I didn't look at it.
I'm gonna say it's rotten at 38%. Marie says 34%.
It is indeed rotten, which to me, I thought this was going to be a really hard one because I really had fond memories of it.
I love this. I loved it. It was terrible, but I loved it.
And again, you were both splitting hairs with Marie's 34 and Sutty's 38, as it was rotten at 36%.
Wow. All right.
And for this one, Arnold Schwarzenegger actually spent a bunch of time in an obstetrician's waiting room to learn how pregnant women behave. And an early cut of this movie ended in an abortion scene that was nixed by the studio after the subject was deemed to be too politically sensitive. Extensive reshoots were required to make the final movie work.
Come on, just get it out of me. I don't want it.
It hurts, I swear.
I'm not the father.
All right. Movie number 5. Are you ready? The final movie, the one that will separate the two of you for the foreseeable future. The Selinsky family is back.
Kids.
No, what? The hilarious disaster strikes when an experiment causes their new toddler son to grow many stories tall. And that was directed by Randall Kleiser, starring Rick Moranis, Marcia Strassman, and Robert Oliveri from 1992. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Man, can we talk about how good of a man that Rick Moranis is?
Rick Moranis is a fucking saint, right?
Yeah, he really is. Like, he quit acting so that he could take care of his wife that had cancer and his kids. It's like, dude, this fucking guy.
What does he do now?
Nothing. He did some voice acting a while back, but he really doesn't do anything anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't think he made enough money off like the Honey I Shrunk franchise to support himself forever.
He did fucking Little Shop of Horrors, Ghostbusters, fucking not CCTV, but the fucking Canadian sketch comedy thing. I can't remember the name of. He did lots of stuff, dude.
You think he's good then? Like set?
Probably. I imagine so. He looks like he's good with his money.
Oh, and he's in Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, then that means all of his wife's medical bills are covered too.
Yeah, he didn't have to pay anything for it. He's totally fine.
Yeah, he's probably okay. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
That one not as good. I'm gonna say also rotten. 44%. Marie says 37%.
This game is close.
Are you keeping track of the points?
I will add that. Yes, I have tracked them both individually, marked one as S and the other as M.
Aww.
And as per new tradition, nice.
Yeah, nice. Get in there.
All right, I will.
No, Marie called that one out, and it was solid.
This one actually is again rotten. I'm going to tell you this right now. One of you is 4 points off. And the other one is 3 points off.
What?
Meaning this one comes in at a rotten score
40.
Of 40. You're exactly right. Now, as a result of this film, Disney later found itself in the subject of a hot lawsuit. The suit was filed in 1991 by Mark Goodson, products director Paul Alter, who claimed to have come up with the idea of an oversized toddler after babysitting his granddaughter and watching her topple over building blocks. He wrote a screenplay titled Now That's a Baby, which had not been made into a film, but had received some sort of treatment beforehand. After claimed there were several similarities between the movie and the script, which consisted of the baby daughter and 2 scientists falling victim of a genetic experiment gone wrong instead of an enlarging ray. The case went to trial in 1993, with the jury finding in Alter's favor, and Disney was forced to pay $300,000 in damages as a result. And that was in 1993. That's crazy. That's a lot. You think it's doubled?
I don't think it's doubled.
Oh, well, a lot.
It's a lot of money, though.
Yeah. And based off of that, you can tell there probably wasn't a lot of really interesting facts about Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. But Wayne's van was a 1991 GMC Safari EXT.
Dope.
Now, for the part that we're all really curious about,
I think Marie got it.
Battle of the Sexes. What happened? Let's add them up. All right.
That was math noises.
Is that what math sounds like?
Math.
Wow. Opening the gates. Marie with a solid 49.
Wow,
That's usually what I get on my first movie. She had 12, 9, 23, 2, and 3. That's insane.
Yeah, you're 49.
All right, and then you had... Yeah. So Marie, although having a stellar game, and I thought, to be perfectly honest with you, I thought this was going to be a little bit harder of a game. I was like, I'm going to throw in all over the place.
Yeah.
And movies that it's been a while. But you did a good job, man. You stayed out of your head. You just executed quickly and ferocity. Marie did great. 49 points. That is a score that I will probably not be able to get to for a very long time. However, Sutty does come in with a strong 34. That's a good game. Good job, guys.
Good job. Good job, babe. She said. There was.
All right. This is going to be a huge pain in my dick to edit, so let's go ahead and call it here.
All right, man. All right.
Give me something warm. Give me something wholesome. Give me something that's going to make me feel good.
All right. You know what? For those of you viewing, either whether it's in live right now, in what we're doing currently, or if you're viewing us on the YouTube channel, we talked a bit about being parents today, and the profound impact that you have on your kids is exactly that. It's profound. So I mean, if you have children, get this thing away from me. If you have kids, make sure you're taking the time just to give them the attention that they desire, because you are their fucking heroes. They're who you look to for examples, and you are the precedent that is set for them to be the human beings that they will eventually become. So make sure that you're being a positive influence to your kids, and something that you would be proud, something that you would be proud of to have sired as an adult. And just be good fucking people. Be good people, make good people. That's it.
And I'm Bloody the Elf reminding you guys.
The light's flashing. I gotta
keep it posy. We're gonna be friends forever.
Yeah, we are. Bro, I have this hangnail that I pulled out